A very good morning to you all, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and gentlemen of the press. I'd like to welcome you to the flag off of the 6th edition of the Maltina Teacher of the Year, which is a brainchild of the Felix Oyewerri Trust Fund of Nigerian Bureaus PLC. Can we please give the fund and, of course, Nigerian Bureaus PLC a round of applause? All right. Without much ado, I'd like us to start this event today with the national anthem. Are we ready? Audio, please. Can we please stand up in honor of our country? God bless Nigeria. Please be seated. Before we proceed, I'd like to establish some ground rules for this event. As we are all aware that this is a very different time that we have. We find ourselves, the COVID-19 pandemic. So we're having this event today in line with the protocols and the guidelines for events at this time. So at every point in time, we must not exceed 20 in this hall. So please, nobody will be allowed in if you're not invited. We must ensure that the number is less than or at most 20. Secondly, we'd like to enjoin every one of us to please wear our face mask properly. Ensure your nose is covered. Ensure your nose is covered properly. There's a spring here, so if you do it this way, it will ensure that your nose is covered. And again, if you step out of this hall at any point in time, when you're coming back, please ensure that you sanitize your hand before you come in. Or if you use the restroom, ensure that you also use the sanitizer. And of course, we will ensure that we will not pass around microphones. Even when we do have to use microphone that somebody has used before, we will ensure that the microphone is cleaned before it is given to you. And of course, we also want to ensure that this event does not drag. We like to do this as quick as we can. On this note, I welcome you once again. I'd like to introduce the members of the I table so that we start properly. Let me start by introducing the Corporate Affairs Director, Nigerian Bureaus PLC, Mrs. Shade Morgan. Can we please have a round of applause for her? COVID-19 will not stop us from clapping. Please, can we clap? Thank you. And of course, we have a representative of the Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT, in our midst. Is the National Treasurer, Nigeria Union of Teachers, Mr. Shegun Rahim. Can we please give him a resounding round of applause? This man had to travel all the way from Abeokuta this morning to join us here, and we do appreciate you, sir. And of course, next, but not the least, of course, is Mr. Patrick Olowokere, Head Sustainability and Regulatory Relations for Nigerian Bureaus PLC. I think the gentlemen of the press here are busy writing. Okay, you are pardoned. Of course, in our midst as well today, we have the Head of Integrated Communications for Nigerian Bureaus, Uchenna Ibemere. Please signify. And we have Oluwatosin Solabi, who is Sustainability Manager, Nigerian Bureaus PLC. You know, it's our tradition to actually ask that journalists introduce themselves, but I think we'll leave that because we don't want to, as much as possible, avoid passing around the microphone. So now that I'd like to go straight to the, but before I do that, I've been informed that we have a lot of dignitaries who are already on the Zoom and other platforms joining us for this occasion. We have Mr. Josiah Olusegun Ajiboye, who is the Chief Registrar, Teachers Regional Council of Nigeria, TRCN. Professor, please. Professor Josiah Olusegun Ajiboye. Can you please give him a round of applause? I'm sure you can hear us. Thank you. We can see you waving. God bless you, sir. Of course, the project consultant for Maltina Teacher of the Year is also joining us online. Professor Uchenna Udiani from the University of Lagos is joining us online. If you can hear us, you're recognizable. Thank you, Prof. And of course, the 2019 winner, Maltina Teacher of the Year, Collins Ezem, is also online, joining us virtually from Abuja, while all other past winners are also on this virtual event with us. Thank you for joining. I'd like to welcome the Corporate Affairs Director, Mrs. Shade Morgan, for our keynote address.
Hello? Good. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Balaji. And I would also just like to use this opportunity to call out our distinguished guests. So I will start with the National Treasurer, Nigeria Union of Teachers, Mr. Segun Rahim, Professor Josiah Ajiboye, the Chief Registrar, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, joining us virtually. It was wonderful to see you, sir. Professor Uchenna Udiani, who is our project consultant for a number of years from inception of the Maltina Teacher of the Year program. Madam, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us virtually. And then, of course, we would also like to appreciate all of the past winners of the Maltina Teacher of the Year who are also watching us live. We appreciate all of our media friends, both here present physically and virtually. And then we come to, of course, in-house. I have to my right our Head of Sustainability and Regulatory Relations, Mr. Patrick Olowo-Kere, who is also here representing all the members of the Nigerian Breweries Corporate Affairs function that are also joining us virtually. Team, thank you and well done. And of course, all of the gentlemen of the press, because we call ourselves gentlemen. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I am delighted, really, to welcome you all to this official flag-off of the 2020 edition of the Maltina Teacher of the Year. Now, this year's edition is somewhat special and symbolic. And why is that? The reason for this is that, as we all know, the coronavirus pandemic has impacted all aspects of our existence, including education. It has also, however, showcased, and particularly as we're here for education, what it has done is that it has showcased the resilient spirit of our Nigerian teachers who have had to find new ways to teach virtually despite the technological challenges and the limitations of our environment. And what this has done is that it has demonstrated the crucial role that teachers play in the development of our society. So today's event is symbolic in that it marks the official kickoff of our search for the best secondary school teacher in Nigeria. So this is a process I hope that you're all now familiar with. It will be concluded in October with a celebration of these stars, and we commemorate it with the annual World Teachers' Day. So what we are doing is celebrating teachers who, despite all odds, continue to break new grounds and contribute immensely to the future of our great nation. Indeed, they hold the keys to that future. So, at Nigerian Breweries, we are deeply passionate about education. And this is why we always demand the highest standards in every sphere of what we do. This is also, for us, the way we demonstrate our corporate philosophy of winning with Nigeria. And doing this through the Maltina Teacher of the Year, it takes us back to why the Nigerian Breweries Felix Ohiwere Educational Trust Fund was set up. So, it was set up established in 1994, and the objective was to facilitate an active contribution to the development of the education sector in Nigeria, and by doing this, working in tandem with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 4. So, the Maltina Teacher of the Year aims to recognize and celebrate exceptional teachers. It is open to teachers in all secondary schools, public and private, across the 6 geopolitical zones and 36 states of the country, including the Federal Capital Territory. So today we kick off that search, and I'm really delighted to have you all here to witness and to be part of it. But of course, we could not have done any of this without our stakeholders, without our partners in progress. And I would like to use this opportunity to appreciate our esteemed educational stakeholders, starting with the federal and state ministries of education, the Nigeria Union of Teachers, NUT, the All Nigeria Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools, ANCOPS, and the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, TRCN. And of course, our friends and partners in progress. And who are those? The media. We thank you for your partnership since the inception of this project, because it's even more so now as we are in the digital world. You play a critical role in ensuring that we are able to generate good awareness and visibility of the program, and that all the teachers can be seized, know about it, and apply. So we are appealing for your support to reach out to all the teachers, informing them about the flag off and how to submit their entries. As always, we will continue to work with our reputable and highly respected panel of judges, who you will get to know as we go through the course of the program. And this is important to sustain the integrity of the Maltina Teacher of the Year program, and to ensure that indeed the best teacher is identified and rewarded for excellence. As with previous years, the winner will receive a total cash prize of 6.5 million naira as his or her reward, in addition to a very much coveted trophy. To the first prize winner, 1 million naira, 500,000 naira to the state champion, and 1 million naira annually for the next 5 years. He or she would also receive a capacity development training, whilst his or her school receives either a block of classroom or, even more so relevant now, a computer laboratory. The first runner-up receives a trophy and 1 million naira, whilst the second runner-up receives a trophy and 750,000 naira. Whilst all of the state champions, because there will be a champion that is selected from each state, and all the state champions will be rewarded with recognition plaques and a cash prize of 500,000 naira each. The 6th edition of the Maltina Teacher of the Year is hereby flagged off All eligible teachers, I invite you to now log on to our dedicated website, www.maltinateacheroftheyear.com, to complete your forms online or download the forms, complete it, and email the completed form to the Maltina Teacher of the Year at heineken.com. And all of these details we will be publicizing. You're going to be hearing it on radio, you'll be seeing it on TV, you'll be seeing it on social media. So there's full access to all the details. But at the end of the day, we are having this because we also need to partner with our media partners, our media friends, to assist us in ensuring that this great news of the commencement of the 2020 edition is fully communicated. So we also will be sharing a short presentation that will give you a trip down memory lane, as well as some of the exciting pictures that we have created over the years. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, CAD. I would like to inform us that the next item on the program is for us to watch a short documentary without the journey so far of this project for about 5 minutes or thereabout. So after that, we have the presentation by Mr. Patrick Olokere. So the video, please.
Let's go! Nigerian breweries, through the Nigerian Breweries Felix Ohiwere Education Trust Fund, began the Maltina Teacher of the Year competition in 2015 to recognize and reward teachers. Teachers from across Nigeria apply to participate in the competition. Entries are examined by a distinguished panel of academicians and professionals. After reviewing the entries, the winners from each state emerge as the state champions and receive a sum of 500,000 naira each. The judges then meet with the top 10 contestants to decide who would emerge as the Maltina Teacher of the Year. Finally, at the grand ceremony, the second runner-up, first runner-up, and the winner are revealed and rewarded. In addition to the 500,000 naira already won as a state champion, the second runner-up wins an extra sum of 750,000 naira. The first runner-up also gets an additional sum of 1 million naira plus the previous winnings as a state champion. The overall winner takes a bumper package of 1 million naira in addition to his or her state championship prizes. A block of 6 modern classrooms for the school the winner emerges from, 1 million in fund every year for the next 5 years, payable on the 5th of October, as well as a capacity development training. In 2015, the first Maltina Teacher of the Year title went to Rose Nkemdili Obi of Federal Government Girls College, Onitsha, Anambra State.
The good part of the experience is that it opened doors for me. I attend workshops, I interact with children during their career day.
Thank you to Nigeria Brewers for what you've done, trying to make teachers to understand that they don't need to go to heaven to get their reward.
I dedicate this award to all the teachers in the whole world and to our students who have made us proud.
Maltina has done it. If I say thank you sincerely, thank you should be spelled in multiple forms for them everywhere. There is an it that has been missing in this country, and since 2015, Maltina started this, they've been encouraging teachers.
Maltina Teacher of the Year 2019 is SM Collins.
Words will not be enough to quantify what Nigerian Breweries has done and is doing with education. I want to once more appreciate Nigerian Breweries for investing so much in Nigerian teachers.
Who will emerge the Maltina Teacher of the Year? Only time will tell.
Thank you. Who will emerge the 2020 Maltina Teacher of the Year? Only time will tell. And on that note, I'd like to call on Mr. Patrick Okere to take us through the 2020 MTOTY presentation.
Thank you, BJ. Good morning, everyone. Okay. All right. I start off with this slide that just showcases how we have impacted education in Nigeria. We commenced in 1994 with the Education Trust Fund, which had a seed amount of 100 million naira set aside to impact education in Nigeria. Over the years, through the Trust Fund, we have built schools or innovated schools in more than 74 communities across Nigeria, and more than 400 classrooms have been built. We've carried out counseling for students in secondary school, senior secondary school. More than 3,000 students have been impacted. We've also carried out projects in universities, University of Ibadan, for instance, Obafemi Awolowo University in Ife is a beneficiary, Pan-Atlantic University, and several others. Of course, the Maltina Teacher of the Year has impacted more than 100 teachers already, giving them the recognition that they deserve. Through the Maltina Teacher of the Year, some teachers have even gone ahead to earn international recognition for what they are doing. This also shows you in pictures some of the projects we've executed through the Trust Fund. You have some of the school blocks we have built in different schools across Nigeria, and of course, a donation that we made to the College of Medicine, University of Ibadan, for their clinical laboratory. You would also see the image there. For us, it's about winning with Nigeria. It's about impacting our operating environment. And you would also see that in what we do with Maltina Teacher of the Year through the Trust Fund. It's focused on secondary schools, and it's designed to recognize and celebrate the best of our teachers. The participation has been high year on year and increasing. And we've had winners from practically all the states of the Federation and Abuja. Like I mentioned earlier, we've had more than 100 teachers recognized and 5 national winners. So we look forward to October this year to identify who will be the best teacher in Nigeria for 2020. You can see images of the past winners from 2015 all the way to 2019, as also highlighted in the video. And then images from the grand finale that held last year at the Hotel. It's about celebrating stars. And on that day, the teachers are the stars. Why are we doing it in 2020? You may wish to ask. It's because despite COVID-19, the job of teaching is still happening. In fact, teaching is now even more interesting because teachers have to employ and deploy more tools and skills to be able to impact knowledge to their students. So now they are using technology and having to teach remotely. So it's important. Yesterday now, there was an announcement that all students in final classes, primary 6, GS3 and SS3 should resume. So you see that teachers still have a lot of job to do to prepare their students for their exams. And of course, we cannot do this alone. We have key stakeholders, the Federal and State Ministry of Education, of course, our key partners, Nigeria Union of Teachers, ANCOPS, TRCN, the teachers themselves, you, the media that are here and online, you are very important. Of course, the roadmap, we're starting off today with the flag off, the press briefing. We'll move on to collation of entries for the next 6 weeks, and then we'll have grading, 2-stage grading, both by lecturers and then by the judges, and then we have announcement of state champions, and then we'll have the top 10 assessment that will be done by the jury members, from where the 3 finalists would emerge, and then we'll have the grand finale. Of course, the reward has been highlighted by the Corporate Affairs Director. That number should be in your head, 6.5 million naira for the grand prize winner, alongside with a capacity development training, which is important and helps to increase the competency and the skill. And then, of course, for the school where the winner emerges from, either a block of classrooms, 6 classrooms, or a computer laboratory, fully equipped. Application process. So, like we mentioned, everything is done digitally. So, you log on to a dedicated website, maltinateacheroftheyear.com, where you fill in the form. You create a profile for yourself, you fill in the form, or you can download the form, fill it manually, scan it, and email it to the address on the screen, maltinateacheroftheyear@heineken.com. So that's a pictorial view of the website and of the form itself. The cutoff year age is 55 years. More importantly and critically, every applicant must be registered with the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria. Please note that it's a critical criteria. The timelines, we're starting off today. Until August 14, we will be receiving entries. And then from August 15th, we'll start the collation and the grading until we then have the grand finale in October. So thank you very much. I hope it clarifies some of the things you need to know about Maltina Teacher of the Year 2020.
Thank you, Thank you very much, Mr. Lokere. I want to believe that the journalists will have their chance to ask questions regarding the presentation as we go along. Let me welcome to the microphone the National Treasurer of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Mr. Shegun, to make his remarks. I think it's working.
Yes. Thank you. The Corporate Affairs Director, you please pardon me to rest on the well-established protocol by the moderator of this program because of our time. I bring the greetings of Mr. President of Nigeria to you, and of course, those of us who are witnessing the flag off. He personally wanted to be here, but because of this pandemic, he's in Kebbi State, and this interstate interstate ban actually blocked him, and that is why I am made to be here. On behalf of the entire teachers of Nigeria, we want to congratulate the Nigerian bureaus through the foundation for the 6th edition of this Maltina Teachers Award. We, as a union, want to observe that since inception of this program, you have not only been consistent in your standard, but for the fact that you have brought in new ideas that attracts more teachers into registration. Is a very kudos and wonderful thing to the company. Let me also say that using part of your CSR as a foundation to motivate teachers is very apt. Perhaps it should be noted that education is a core mandate of national development. For any nation to be well developed, it means that its educational policies must be sound. And that is why we give kudos to frontliners in education like Singapore, like Finland, and the rest of them that we are copying. And so, if it is so, and it is often said that there is no nation that can grow beyond the knowledge of its teachers, what Nigerian bureaus has done indirectly through this competition is perhaps bringing a healthy rivalry among teachers throughout Nigeria. between the public and the private. And so doing, bringing different innovation and ideas of how to actually get the coveted trophy and, of course, get recognized. This is a way to motivate teachers in the class. However, the CAD have just said it now, that this pandemic has brought to us a new normal, and things we never envisaged before happens all of a sudden. And for you to know the dynamism in education and teaching, teachers keyed in. Most teachers who are not digitally inclined have gone into it. As I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the Presidential Task Force, the Federal Ministry of Education, and all states' Ministry of Educations in all the forms to make sure that the students, do not just stay home idle, because that one is more dangerous. Students are more secured in school environment compared to home. And that is why within this pandemic, you are seeing more cases of rape and assaults on our youth. Having said that, I also want to say that because our teachers are now digitally inclined more, you will see more entries this year. We want to assure you that. I also want to say that this is an open challenge to other corporate organizations and business owners, that the best way to improve upon the standard of what you produce, it is the manpower. And the manpower comes out of the teacher. The common saying in the classroom is that if you can read and write your name, thank your teacher. And one of the ways by which Nigerian Bureaus is thanking all the teachers is through this Maltina Teachers Award. So we challenge them that it cannot be the federal government and the Nigerian Bureaus alone. Let us bring about a healthy rivalry to actually reposition our educational system. It is apt to also add that the insecurity in the country now is becoming worrisome. The security agencies have done their bits to curb it down, but it seems the end is not at sight. However, it is important to note that the best way to curb this is to put more into infrastructure and manpower development in education. Because in the system, the teacher do not only teach to gain knowledge, but also to improve the youth in changing their behavior through improving their cultural values, norms, ethics, and ethos, because the child has to be integrated into the society. And because majority of these things doesn't happen as it ought to be, most of those who actually recruit our youth into banditry and terrorism actually does that through a particular systemic way, which in my own view, I call them I call the process of recruitment here indoctrination. When youth are indoctrinated into a system, it keys into their head. And you can only indoctrinate a youth that is open-minded. But when a youth is well-directed towards what the society is expecting of him or her, you see that the rate of this insecurity reduces. This that you are doing is pushing us towards that level. Because you cannot say you are educated if the values of the society is not embedded in you. You can't say you are useful to the society if you go through the school and you are useless to the society. However, I also want to add that we, as a union, will continue to partner with you to make sure that as we have successful 5 editions in the past, this one will be more successful than the one we had in the past. And I also use this opportunity to appreciate all other stakeholders, particularly the TRCN, ANCOPS, and those who are part of the panelists who are very free, fair, and you discover at the final that they are unbiased. I mean, they are not biased. We want to congratulate you, convey our greetings. As you flag off today, we'll continue to be with you. We'll identify with you all through to make sure that this year, the new normal comes a new entry into Maltina Teachers Awards. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We'll be joined now virtually by the project consultant, Professor Odiani, who is going to give us short remarks. Do we have Professor Odiani on the line? Hello, Prof. Please unmute her. Prof, please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Prof, please unmute yourself so that we can hear you. She's heard me.
I did it before.
Okay,
hello, can you hear me now?
Very loud and clear, ma.
Okay. Hello from the University of Lagos. I wish to stand on all existing protocols. I am Professor Udan and the consultant to this laudable project of the Nigerian Breweries PLC. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of us, both digitally online and physically at the venue, for the much awaited flag off of the 2020 Maltina Teacher of the Year. This is the 6th edition, like we have heard, and we are all excited about the program and the successes that you have recorded so far. We are very proud of all our 5 previous winners and what they are able to do to improve the teaching and learning in schools. We believe that the 2020 edition will be bigger and better in spite of the COVID-19. For all our contestants for the 2020 edition, I encourage you to diligently fill the application forms and answer all the questions completely and accurately. Additionally, ensure that you submit all the required documents. We also implore you to help us to escalate the competition in your various platforms and communities. I wish you all the best of luck and good luck in this competition. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and bye from the University of Lagos.
Thank you very much, Prof. Please don't go offline. Please stay with us to the end of the program. Thank you very much. And quickly, we'd like to move to Abuja, where the Chief Registrar of the TRCN, Professor Josiah Olusegun Ajiboye, is waiting to give us his short remarks, and after which we'll be taking the last year winner. Do we have Professor Ajiboye on the line now?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Let me thank the Director of Corporate Affairs of the Nigerian Breweries. My employer is also there, the Treasurer of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, and other dignitaries there present, including those online. From the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, I bring greetings to the Maltina Teachers of the Year Award. And we want to appreciate the Nigerian Brewery for your investment in education. It has been a very rewarding experience since you started 6 years ago. And with the first editions, TRCN has been part and parcel of your program. And we have discovered that, look, one of the the Maltina Teacher of the Year Award has become a signature project in the annual calendar of education system in our country. And we want to give kudos to you for what you are doing at the level of the Maltina Teachers Award. We appreciate your effort. We believe very strongly that an investment in the teacher is the right investment any country can do. Like what my employer, the treasurer of NUT, said, no country can grow or develop beyond the level of its education. And also, no education can grow beyond the level of its teachers. So the teacher holds the key when you are talking of the education system. And that's why we are appreciative of the investment of the Nigerian breweries in the Nigerian teacher. We look forward to the 2020 edition, and we are also hoping that even some of the winners of this 2020 edition will be able to apply, because now for the African Union Teacher of the Award, the African Union, AU, has now instituted the annual teacher award, following what Maltina Teacher of the Year is doing, following what we call Global Teachers Prize. And we believe that any winner of the Maltina Teachers Award should be able to apply to the African Union Teacher of the Year. And we look forward, to some of them imagine even winning the prizes in Africa and globally using, with the Global Teachers Prize. Once again, we really want to appreciate you, and we want to pledge our commitment at the level of TRCN to say that we are going to make sure that we deliver on the mandate that is required of us. We get to the teachers, we have their database, we are going to send the information online through their emails and even through the Teacher Information System platform on TRCN website. We'll make sure that we advertise this widely to encourage our teachers nationwide to participate in the program. Once again, we really want to thank you for the noble job that you are doing. And like what the NUT treasurer said, we also want to speak to other corporate bodies to emulate what the Nigerian Bureau is doing in terms of investing in teacher. Look, if there's any investment, human capital development is very critical in the area of health and in the area of education. And so we encourage all other corporate bodies to emulate what the Nigerian Bureau is doing in promoting the interest of the teachers in our country. Once again, we thank you. TRCN is glad to be part of this project, and we'll continue to look forward to the ultimate program even in October as we mark the 2020 edition. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Can we please give him a resounding round of applause? Thank you very much, Prof, for your assurance, especially in helping us to ensure that all the teachers who are registered on your platform get to know and get the information about the 2020 edition. God bless you. And as he rightly said, he mentioned something that we look forward to having winners of this award to go on this global stage. I'm glad to inform all of us here that the 2018 winner was actually on the top 50 of the Global Teacher Award. And we're looking forward to him making the top 10 to top 5, and of course, bringing home the laurel. Can you please give a round of applause to that guy? Fantastic young man. I want to believe that the last year winner, Collins Ezem, is online to give his remarks. Collins Ezem, can we get him?
All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can I?
Yes,
okay.
Go on.
It's my pleasure to be here today. A day I have always wished for, a day when Nigerian teachers will be hopeful that their hard work, both in secret and in public, will be recognized. I want to thank the Nigerian bureaus. I want to thank the Ministry of Education, and of course the NUT, TRCN, and every other education stakeholder for putting this event forward. This event has done so much to my life privately and professionally. Prior to my emergence as the Maltina Teacher of the Year 2019, I had applied in 2017 and of course in 2018. I didn't get feedback. But of course in 2019, I was inspired by the prime champion of this competition, Mrs. Rose Obi. So I applied again, and by the grace of God, I emerged as the national champion. Since then, it has spurred me to break new grounds in teaching and learning. I've been able to train so many teachers. We have trained over 1,000 teachers, helping them to articulate their philosophy of teaching statement, which is an area that we discover that many Nigerian teachers don't have. And in this in less than 1 year, I've been able to also collaborate with a lot of teachers to help teachers develop innovative teaching strategies, including developing digital skills that will help us navigate the classroom.
You are far away from your mic. Please speak to your mic. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, loud and clear. Go on.
Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes, please. Go on.
Okay. So this award has spurred me to engage in training Nigerian teachers, over 1,000 of them, both in private and in public schools. And it has also helped me to register an NGO we call Youth Education and Peace Initiative. It is a platform where we are working with a team of passionate teachers to integrate peace education into the Nigerian curriculum, knowing that one of the things that divide us in our country is as a result of tribalism and other tribalism, and of course, many other selfish interests. So we are trying to bring in peace education into the Nigerian curriculum, and we are working really hard. This award has really spurred me to take my students seriously. I see my students as human beings. I don't see my students as objects. I see them as human beings to be impacted upon, who will make changes in the future. My emergence has really inspired a lot of Nigerian teachers to know that teaching is not a waste of time. Teaching is an investment to the life of students, to the life of the young generation, and of course, to the life of our nation. In this pandemic, we have done a lot, training teachers and training parents on how to use different digital tools, different authoring tools, to ensure that even if school is locked down, education can never be locked down. I will be reaching out to students, teachers, and parents. I cannot stop thanking the Nigerian bureaus for what they are doing for teachers. I tell you the truth, this initiative has spurred a lot of teachers. This initiative has made people who left teaching to come back to teaching. This initiative is driving a lot of people who were not teachers to go to different schools to obtain a certificate in education so that they can be qualified to come into the classroom. We want to appreciate the Nigerian teachers. We will continue to do more. My passion and my drive is to ensure that I work with as many people who are interested in teaching and learning to make sure that teaching becomes one of the most enviable professions in Nigeria and in Africa. Once again, I thank Nigerian bureaus. I thank all the teachers across our countries. And of course, I give kudos to our students and pupils who make themselves available for learning. Thank you. I wish all the applicants for this year's edition success. Please go through all the rules and regulations. Ensure that you take note of very vital information, and you will emerge as champions. God bless Nigeria. God bless teachers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think the city has something to say to him. Okay. Thank you very much, Collins. We go to the interactive session quickly. I'll first start with the people in-house here. If you have questions, please raise up your hand. Then we'll go and take a few questions also virtually, so we don't leave members of the press who are joining us virtually there without giving them the opportunity to ask questions. So, questions in the house, please? Okay. Ngozi, please pass the microphone. And please ensure you clean once it is used before you pass to another person.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amaka O. I'm a reporter with the Nigerian Television Authority. I want to find out if there is any financial involvement for participants. Do you have to pay any sum to be part of this? Is it free for all?
Thank you. So, any other question? Let's take 2, 3. I will answer them together and we'll go again. Kelechi.
Good afternoon. I'm Kelechi Ewuzi, I write for Business Day. We are embracing the new normal. So my thinking will be in the process of interacting with the teachers, getting national winner. How prepared is Nigerian breweries to embrace the social distancing, all the requirements, to ensure that, the right, candidates are met? Thank you.
Thank you. I think we should take these questions. But before then, I'd like to inform those members of the press joining us virtually that you can drop your message on the Zoom call, or you can call in by raising up your hand and we'll bring you on live to ask your question directly. Thank you. So you have the floor. Microphone, please. Yeah. Yes, we can.
Secondary school teachers are shining them. I don't know. AUT, yes. I don't know what AUT is doing towards that direction. Then secondly, financial implication of the competition. I don't know if the corporate affairs director can give us annually what it costs to put this program, please. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we should just take the phone. So we probably are done, except if there are other questions. So, please, go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Koforo Olabelosage from The Nation. Last year, you had one side competition that went alongside the main one that was online. Is there going to be something like that this year?
That's one teacher.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much for all your questions. I'll now start with Amaka. Am I right? Yes. And your question, very good question. Are there any fees? Is there any cost to the teachers? And the answer to that is absolutely not. The only requirement, which was also confirmed by our head of sustainability here, is that the teachers must have their TRCN registration, and we also have all the other criteria, so not above 55 years old, etc. And that is exactly what it is. So the forms are free, they are available online, and they can be downloaded and submitted as well online. So I hope that answers fully the question. Thank you. For Gabriel DK from the Sun. No, I think let me first before Kelechi. And yes, excellent question. How prepared are we to ensure social distancing, to embrace that in the course of the program? I think you can see that even from this kickoff, we are fully prepared. And the fact that we have within this room social distancing, we have our key stakeholders joining us virtually. It is an imperative for us that we must put the safety and protection of all participants, all stakeholders at the forefront of everything that we do. So there are going to be some changes. Typically, we would have a physical interview, we would have a grand finale event at the end of the year, it is going to be a little different. So we would have remote celebrations taking place, remote unveiling of the winner ultimately in October. And even before that, when we have the interview and the jury panel, we will ensure that the seating is very similar to what you see today. So, and we will ensure that all of the regulations that have been put together and put in place by the Nigerian government are fully observed. So, thank you for that question. To Mr. Gabriel Dike from The Sun. And yes, I think this is also an excellent question. What happens to the public school teachers? And I think for that, I would also ask that, okay, I have just been passed by my head of sustainability here. Patrick, thank you for this. I mean, first of all, in terms of application, for the first time last year, we actually went electronic. Electronic in the sense that teachers could log on online, and just the same way you fill in your visa form, you could go online, fill in the form, and submit, okay? And then we also had the download option, and what we saw was almost 100% increase in the number of applications. But at the same time, we still had a number of physical applications. So definitely, we expect that there will be some disadvantaged teachers, and this is why we are ensuring that we create full visibility around these electronic options, and really it is something that we are confident that they will take advantage of. Now, in terms of statistics, and you asked a very smart question, so what have been the balance between public and private schools? And we can confirm that for the past 5 winners, we've actually had 3 from public schools, and also 2 from the private secondary schools. So indeed, when you even look at the total qualifying and all of the state champions, we have a higher percentage of state champions coming from the public schools than from the private schools. So I think before I move on to the next question, I would just like to ask Mr. Shegun Rahim to also contribute on that. Thank you, sir.
Very, very much. In fact, let me create a background. That qualified teachers have the same background. They attended the same institute. They sat for the same professional exams, are licensed together. When some now find themselves in public schools and others in the private system, aside from the statistics that have just been given now, one thing that happens in the past, particularly our intervention in NUT, had been that we get a hard copy of the form through the head office to the 36 states and FCT, and through the states, it goes to all the 774 local governments. That process is a long one. And you can hear from the last winner that he attempted it 2017, 2018, he didn't hear anything. Maybe the form did not get up before the deadline. And last year, when the idea came at a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, that was when we started looking at it. And with this new normal, I want to assure you that more teachers from the public school will even register than before, because teachers in the confine of their homes can put up a registration. As long as we get the soft copy, even from here, I can send it to the entire states, and it goes on before even the 6 weeks duration lapse. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, but we also have you, dear media friends, here for a reason, because you're also going to help us create that critical advertising that we need for them, the teachers, to also, on top of everything that we are doing in partnership, create that knowledge. And I would also like to just call out very quickly that on all of our platforms, you can also see the Maltina Teacher of the Year. So Nigerian Breweries on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, I'm sure even LinkedIn. We have our Head of Integrated Communications, Uchenna Ibemere. So he has been driving this very rigorously, and therefore we are fully confident that just as the National Treasurer has said, we are going to see even more applications from the private sector. Thank you, sir. Okay, the last question we're taking is on the side competition that we had last year, that one teacher. I'll hand this over to Mr. Patrick Olokere.
Okay, thank you, Shade. That one teacher was a special innovation that we delivered last year. Okay, we're not repeating that this year. Don't worry, we would always go back and come up with new innovations as we move on. But that one teacher will not happen this year. Thank you. Okay, for every event that we do, we evaluate, we see how it has gone, and then we go back again and review and ask ourselves, has it delivered the objective, or is it distracting from the core event itself? So those are the kind of evaluations that we do.
Okay, have we taken all the questions now? Okay, I have a question from one Zika Bobby, who is asking to know how many entries did you record last year, and how we are able to manage to go through each of them. Then, are you in touch with the past winners? Are they faring well? I think he must have probably, if he's on the call, he must have seen the last year winner. So the question here is, how many applications did you get in 2019, and how long did it take us to go through them? Then another Facebook user, what are the requirements for participation? I think that has been said, but we can restate this again. So let's answer this, then we'll go and check those who are online who want to phone in to ask their questions.
All right, thank you. For the entries for 2019, I don't have the precise number, but I know it was more than 2,000 at the beginning of when the entry is closed. Of course, it will now go through screening for completion, and then for that is entering your TRCN number, very critical. Because there were some entries that we received that did not have TRCN number. Once that number is not there, it's disqualified. Okay, are we in touch with all the past winners? Yes, in fact, I've spotted, I think, all of them are online at the moment, all the past winners. So we engage with them regularly, and yes, we're very much in touch with them. But I think that's about it. Any other one?
Yes, please. So if you're online, either on Zoom, YouTube, and you want to join us, you have a question as a journalist, can you please signify by raising up your hand, or you send the questions on the chat platform so we can read out and provide you an answer?
Actually, I just saw that there was a particular question, the financial implications. So the financial implications in total, in terms of the winnings, is a total of 60 million naira expended by the Nigerian Breweries PLC Felix Ohiwere Educational Trust Fund. And that goes across cash to all the winners, the school building, or as we have introduced this year, the computer laboratory, and also a capacity building development. So we had the trainings that were attended by the 2015, 2016, and 2017 winners. In fact, we have Tosin Sholabi, who is our sustainability and CSR. She actually accompanied them to the UK, to the University of Manchester, where they received a rigorous training on teaching. So that is also part of the 60 million naira. However, of course, we have all the operational expenses, and that I would not go into, but this is actually something for you to appreciate how committed we are to this, that on an annual basis, we have a budget, and we have an educational trust fund board. In fact, we actually had a board meeting 2 days ago where we shared with the trustees everything that we will be doing for the Maltina Teacher of the Year program. So thank you for that question. that is what is expended. So that is what will be expended for all the winners. So remember that we have state champions from every state. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I understand that we don't have any hand up on the virtual call. One, okay. Can you read out the name and bring the person on? Mr. Bosun. Oh, Mr.
Yes.
Bosun is the president of Education Reporters, or chairman as they call him. From Tribune, joining us. Thank you for joining us. Can you please go ahead and ask your question?
Thank you very much for having me and giving me this opportunity. I believe that you are hearing me clearly.
You're loud and clear.
Yeah. I really appreciate the Nigerian Bureau for this wonderful project that is doing. Personally, I have seen a lot of improvement, especially in the area of how committed the teachers are now, especially many of them now are trying to key into this laudable program. We know the impact it has already generated in the education sector. But I would also like to use this opportunity because it's an opportunity for us to ask these very particular questions as regards the journalists. I want to record a period. Nigerian Bureau also has a wonderful package for journalists in the angle of the award for teachers, which is called Golden Pen Award. And for the last 2 years, we are not hearing anything about it. And when Nigerian Bureau is talking about the teacher, we know that teachers, they are very germane, their impact in the area of economy is wonderful. I think, and the last speaker, the one of the Nigerian Bureau that spoke the other time, he talked about the essence of teachers, even in this COVID-19, the way that they are still doing, they are doing this and that. Really, we know education cannot be locked down. So also journalism is not locking down. And I would like Nigerian Bureau to let us know what exactly happened to the Golden Pen Award. Why is it not holding again? Journalists also want to know because they are also benefiting from this very angle. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Bosun. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bosun, thank you very much. We organized the Golden Pen Award consecutively for 10 years. The last edition was held in 2018. You would agree with me, when you have run a program for that length of time, it's also good to do a review. Like a question somebody asked me earlier, and I was answering, for every initiative that we do, there are times we have done it for a period, we say, okay, take a pause and check to what extent you are able to deliver on the original objectives of that program. And go back and do a review and see how you want to come up with, whether it is going to be the same initiative as it was designed, or you're going to come up with something new. So the media is a critical stakeholder for us. We know that. So don't worry, there would be a different kind of initiative that addresses that sector. We are not walking away from Golden Pen, but we are redesigning what Golden Pen is. If you recall, severally in the past, there were complaints that it was skewed towards only the print media. There were feedback that, okay, we have not considered electronic media or the new media as a critical aspect of journalism. So the redesign is to look at all these other sectors and be sure that we have a program that covers the entire media space. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I think on that note, it will be a good time to call on the CSR, Sustainability and CSR Manager, Oluwatosin Sholabi, for a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can anybody hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. Is that better? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I think that's much better. Thank you very much. I didn't. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I stand on existing protocol. On behalf of Nigerian Breweries PLC and the entire project team of Maltina Teacher of the Year, we'd like to say a big thank you for taking out time to be part of this glorious ceremony on the flag off of the Maltina Teacher of the Year 2020. A lot has been said here today, but please allow me just to reiterate some certain points. As a company, we stand committed to ensure that we support the country in development in the educational sector, and also the flag off has started. The entries are open for 2020 Maltina Teacher of the Year. We please urge our fellow media partners to please communicate this to the general public, that the entries are open and they should please submit the entries and as teachers also, as they submit the entries, please ensure that you follow all the regulations that's shown on the form. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day. And please stay safe. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. I think that's the wrap on the program. We can go offline now so that we can continue our tete-a-tete and we can have interviews. Thank you. God bless you.